Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome back to my subscribers. Thank you always for your support here on YouTube, Facebook, and in the Etsy store and on the Ko-fi site. Today is Monday. It's Monday night where I am, and it is March 11. So what we're going to do today is we are going to make a folio with a jewelry box closure. So I've already done some things in advance, and let me give you the measurements of the things that I've already pre-prepped just to keep the video moving along. So you'll need a base, and the base is 9.5 inches by 6.5 inches, and you will score at 4 5/8 and 4 7/8, and you'll get a little book that has a spine on it. Then you'll need some more pieces. The first piece is, this is 5.5 inches long, and you are going to score at the 1/2 inch and at the 3/4 inch mark, as I have here. So this is 5.5 by, let me give that a spin so I can see that, 4 5/8. So it's 5.5 by 4 5/8 this way. And then you're going to score at the 1/2 inch, and you'll score again at the 3/4 inch mark. That's one piece. Then your next piece is, this is 4 3/8 by, let me just turn it, it's easier to see that way, 4 5/8. So it is 4 3/8 by 4 5/8, and you will score again at the 1/2 inch mark and at the 3/4 inch mark. Okay, now look at some things that I've already done. I have rounded out the corners, and I have done my angle cuts, and I did the angle cuts at the score line that's closest to the top, and I did the same thing with the larger piece. Okay, so I did my angle cuts, and let's get this out of the way for now. So our bigger piece, I've already done some pre-work. Our bigger piece, what we need to do now is, not on the front cover, but on the back cover, we need to glue. We'll glue the top part. We'll glue the bottom. This is the bottom part. We will glue the bottom part underneath, and then we will also, getting caught here, we will also glue the top part. Okay, and then once everything is glued, it will close like this. Okay, and then we'll continue to build, and we'll put our jewelry box closure on as well. Okay, so let me get some things glued down, and I'll be right back. So before I leave you, you're going to put your glue up to the score line. Okay, the same thing with this piece. You're going to put your glue up to the score line, and again, you're going to adhere it to the back. Okay, so let me do that, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have things glued down, and the cardstock that I'm using for the outer part of the book, this is a heavyweight cardstock, right? So all of these pieces right here, this is a 110-pound craft cardstock that I am using. Okay, so we have the beginnings of our folio taking shape. Okay, so now let's work on some other pieces. So here's another section that I am going to glue right here. Let me give you the measurements that I used. Just going to put that right over there. So this is 8 3/4 by 6 3/8, and then I scored at the 4 1/4 mark, and that's how I got this. And then I just added some pockets. Okay, and you've done enough of these things where you don't need me to show you pockets, how to create pockets. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to glue this right in this area here, coming right up to where that score line is. Okay, so let me glue that down and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've glued that down. Just want to make sure that's on nicely, that it's on in a secure way. It's not going to come falling off. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I always like to give you a notepad. Now this is 5 sheets of different types of paper. I have some ledger paper, plain copy paper, and some paper from my junk journal. And let me give you the measurements for this. It is a hair over 6 3/8. Okay, so 4 3/8, and you could just round it up 6 3/8. Okay. And I am going to glue this down in here. Okay. And I'm going to try to get that in the center as best as I can. And for me, that is good enough. So now we have a few more things to add. So let me turn it this way. Okay, as you can see, I've already done the pockets again. I've already done the pockets. So I have here some envelopes that are filled with some goodies. Okay, so this first envelope, and if you're having a junk journaling gathering, wouldn't it be great to just take time out to have some fun and do a junk journal crossword puzzle? And let's see what else we have here. Have some fun doing a junk journaling word search. Okay, and this is going to go in this first pocket here. And then we'll flip this over. Okay, and then I have this other envelope. So let's see what I have in here. It is the answer keys. So let me stick this back in here. Okay, now where do I want to put my other envelope? Perhaps I'll put it here if it'll fit. Let's see. And it does. Okay, so I'll stick that there. Okay, now before we add these pockets here at the top, and then another pocket here at the bottom, we have to first put on the jewelry box closure. Okay, so to do that, what I'm going to do is close everything up for now. And I have my jewelry box closure here. And then instead of using screws, I'm using these matching brads. Okay, so one piece is going to go at the top, and then the other piece has to go at the bottom. Okay, but before I do the bottom part, I want to do the top piece first. So I want to try to get in the middle as best as I can. So let me just kind of take a look here, try to find the middle. So I'm a little bit over 4.5 inches. So my middle is somewhere around here. That's about the middle, right? I think so. Okay, I'm not going to aim for too much perfection because it is just a demonstration video. So what I want to do now is I want to take a pencil and I just want to mark where my holes are. That one is done and that one is done. Okay, so now I have this little, it's about like a 1/16 of an inch hole punch, but if you don't have one of these, if you're doing junk journaling, I'm sure you have one of these in your stash. Okay, so I'm going to poke the hole in here using the circle that I marked. Okay, and then I'm going to get the other one. Okay, so now I'm going to put the top one in. Okay, and what you need to make sure is that these are tightly closed, or else it becomes a little bit of a challenge. The brat, try to make sure that it's closed. Okay, so I'm going to put this in through here, and then I'm going to put it through my little hole. Okay, I'm going to open this up now, making sure that I'm pushing this all the way in. You want to make sure you push it in as much as you can so that this isn't wobbling too much. And then I'm going to get the other side and do the same thing. Now what you can do is, if it's a little bit wobbly, you could try using a little glue dot, keeping it on the inside and as best as you can so that it doesn't get gunky and gluey. But for me, this was good enough. So I'm pushing that in as I'm opening up the brat so that it's steady. Okay, so that's what that looks like on the inside. Alrighty, so now I definitely will need this for the next set of holes. So what I want to do now is I want to bring this over, and I want to get that in the center as best as I can, matching up with this. And then I know that I need to be able to close this. Okay. So while this is closed and everything is lining up looking good, okay, I'm going to press my finger on that, and then I'm going to grab my pencil again, and I'm going to mark my holes. Okay, it shifted a little bit. I'm not going to worry too much, right? It's junk journaling. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so I'm going to hold this down, and I'm going to get the other side as well. Okay, so now I've got my dots there, and this is where I'm going to use this instead. Okay, so I'm going to try not to get my fingers cut. And all right, so here is my first okay, I'm hearing it go through, and that looks like it went through, and it did. Okay, so here's my other one. I can hear it go through, and it did indeed. Okay, so now I'm going to take this piece, and I'm going to do exactly what I did the first time with the other piece. I'm going to push that through, push the other one through. Oops. This isn't closed. It starts to open, and that's when it becomes a little bit of a challenge. Okay. Okay, so I've got that one through as well. Okay, so I'm going to push this in as far as I can, and then I'm going to open up the brat, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. Push it in as far as I can. Okay, now here is the test. Ta-da! And it closed. Yay! Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is we need to get these things covered. Okay, so you'll probably want the measurements for this. So let me give those to you. I'm gonna get my scoreboard back. So this is, it's a little bit over 4.5 that way, and it's a little bit over 4.5 the other way. Okay, so it is a square. All right, now this one is a little over 4.5 as well by, let's see, by 3.5. Okay, so a little over 4.5 by 3.5. So I'm going to get this glued in, and I'm going to get the other part glued in down here. Okay, so I'm going to glue the bottom part, I'm going to glue the top part, and then I'll be right back, and then we can start wrapping things up. Okay? Okay, so these pockets are on. Now, what we need to do is get our pockets filled and get some labels on, and then wrap everything up. Okay. I did not forget that I have to cover the back. Okay, so I do have a piece here. I'll get this glued down, and then I'll get some journaling cards and some labels on, and then we will see the final piece. We'll do a flip through. All right, I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so I didn't use a lot of labels. I don't think that you always have to use labels. I kind of felt that if I put a label on this, it would pull away from the prettiness of the paper. So this is the front, what the front looks like with the closure. And then here is the back. And you are certainly free to decorate your folio any way you wish. I think this would make a cute Mother's Day gift. So let's go on ahead and open this up and look inside. Okay, so continuing our game theme, I have a journaling card here. And then you could fill that with whatever you like. So just want to make sure that I'm in camera because this thing is long. So here's the journaling card. And again, continuing with our game theme. And then on the bottom, here is another one of those types of cards. You already seen what's in the envelope. So then let's flip this over. We have some more journaling cards, another game card, a bingo card, to just go along with the theme. I did put some labels, just not too many. Okay, and then over here we have another journaling card, another bingo card to go with our game theme. And you already saw the contents of this envelope. And we have our notepad. So that is today's tutorial. So if you use any aspect of this tutorial, would you please create a link that links directly back to this tutorial? I'd really appreciate it. Okay, everyone, if you like this video, please share, please hit the like button, and please subscribe. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.